In 1810, a man bet a friend that he could make any house in London the most talked about address in the city. He won, and he did it entirely with letters. His name was Theodore Hook. He was a writer and a serious practical joker. He picked an ordinary house, 54 Berners Street. It belonged to a widow, a Mrs. Tottenham, who had done nothing to anybody. Over the following weeks, Hook wrote letters, a great many letters. Accounts put the number in the thousands. Every one of them was signed in her name, and every one ordered something or requested a visit, all for the same morning. On November 27th, it began with a chimney sweep. Mrs. Tottenham's household told him no one had sent for a sweep. Then 11 more chimney sweeps arrived. Then carts of coal. Then wedding cakes. Then doctors, lawyers, and vicars, each told they were urgently needed. Then fishmongers, shoemakers, and around a dozen pianos. Then a hearse with a coffin, arriving for a funeral nobody had died for. The street jammed solid. Carts could not turn around. Crowds gathered to watch. And then it escalated past tradesmen, because Hook had also written to some rather important people. The governor of the Bank of England turned up. So did the Lord Mayor of London, and the Duke of York, and, by several accounts, the Archbishop of Canterbury. It took police most of the day to clear the street. Hook, meanwhile, had rented a room directly opposite. He spent the entire day at the window, watching, with a friend. He was never prosecuted. Nobody could prove it was him. One man, some paper, and the most famous address in London.